tacticians, we have another great video for you today. This one's going to be on a whole new series as well. It's going to be how to deck out commanders. Get these commanders, make them big, beefy, and thick. You want to get them to be as strong as they can, to be the best that they can. So I'm going to have a TLDR of why Gandalf the Grey is so great. And I meant gray, sorry. But why Gandalf the Grey is so great by himself. And the reason why is because, check it. Right away, his kit, all of his respect, everything that he's got, it's all great. As at respect 0, he could do amazing. He's got survivability. He can do additional damage on the first few turns, and he can do just about anything you need. So do what you need, copy what you will. TLDR over. So now let's break into items and see what makes him be him. And the reason why he is so great, you may have heard this on some previous videos, but the reason why Gandalf is so great, combined with let's just say we're going to use smite, for example. So you can use one of 3 items really. So you can use the cutlass, which gives you 1+ attack for melee. You can use the elven dirk right here, which gives you speed for your elves. The only downfall is you have to make sure it has the sub ability that I'm about to show you right now. Or you can use a Mirkwood bow that has pierce. So you can use a cutlass that has smite, Mirkwood bow that has pierce, or an elven dirk that also has pierce. I don't have an elven dirk that has pierce right now, so a Mirkwood bow. Mirkwood bow or cutlass is what I have available for me. Depending on the composition of what I want to build for my Gandalf is what I want to select. So I'm building him with some melee, 2 melee units. So I'm gonna select the 1+ attack for him, and he has smite. So basically what it does is after the commander attacks against an enemy target, deals an additional 5.6% focus damage. So that's 2 attacks that you're doing with Gandalf the Grey. And the reason why that is so big is because the Grey, this ability right here, after the commander deals damage, 1 allied unit has a 50% chance of recovering 100% HP. That's phenomenal. So every time after he does damage, he's got that opportunity to heal twice per turn. Let's go into a battle log real quick. Let's see what we got here. Here's one where he had some nice little fighting going on. This went to a draw, so let's look at this one. Get to round 1. Here is the pre-battle phase, round 1. He's got, where's Gandalf the Grey? Nope, that's not him attacking. He's a little bit slower than everyone else. Activates mend. Here he is. Gandalf the Grey attacks, and protected by Swan Knight, whatever. But with his attack right here, it triggered the Grey effect, which allowed him to heal the Guardian for 1,118 HP. And then he launched Smite because of that Cutlass. That Cutlass allows him to once again possibly activate Trigger Grey. Proc, trigger, activate, whatever you want to call it. It has a chance to activate 2 times per round. So let's check out round 2. Let's go all the way down to Gandalf once again. Gandalf attacks, protected, so on and so forth. That's great. Grey did not activate this round. He did smite. Grey didn't activate again, so that's unfortunate. That's 2 times where it didn't heal for him. And then if we go down once again, here's Gandalf. He attacks. It triggers, kills the March Wardens for 3,341. And then he does smite. Once again, didn't happen. But you see what's going on here. That's what's so good about these items paired with Gandalf, because not only does he have an opportunity to heal every single turn, but he has an opportunity to now heal 2 times per turn. It comes down to chance, but I'll take 2 chances of 50% each. That's 2 flip of coins right there. That's an easy win for me. For the rest of the items, I personally wanted to go with some extra HP to give my units that extra life, so that way when the heals have an opportunity to come through, that they're not just dead, and you're not just healing dead units. You're actually healing units that are still alive. So, and not to mention it gives focus. This Elven Cloak is really big. I know there are some other items out there that can reduce damage. Pretty much you're going to want focus though. So anything that gives you focus and adds on, this is a nice little cool one, but that's speed and might. you just want to try to find anything that has focus. Not many items do increase for armies, except for the scale mail. That is a big one. It gives you defense for your melee. That's another survivability thing. That's less damage that your units are taking. For your bone mask, again, I went with HP for him. He does a little bit of focus damage, so I was like, cool, it's a nice little thing. I was contemplating going with Trapper's Hood because it did increase damage for my ranged unit, but I plan on doing a double melee loadout with Gandalf. So for me, it didn't make sense to try to stack too much into ranged unless I was really aiming to do that damage. However, I did get one item here for him that's going to be increasing his range attack. The reason why the accessory and the weapon are probably the biggest items. The reason why they're the biggest for Gandalf the Grey is because with the accessory, he has this sub ability right here, Mend. Mend is a great one, and also Sustain is as well. Sustain is right here. Sustain and Mend, these two sub abilities for these items, fantastic. Every 2 rounds, all allies recover 12% HP. That's pretty big, regardless, because that's heals. That's heals. Pocket heals. Free heals, you'll take it all day. Mend, I upgraded it once, so that way it's 40% instead of 20%. If you can keep upgrading these to make them better, by all means do it. Because if you can get this up to 60%, that's solid. It's every 2 rounds, 60% HP guaranteed for 1 unit. So that's really what all for his items. That's what decks him out, makes him great. So for his points, however, the way I built him is a little mix of defensive and offensive, so that way I can have some damage output while also having control and defensive spells. Key to every single build, no matter what, is going to be the gray. You got to go with the gray, get it to 15. That's paired with that item, that's borderline broken. You want to drop 1 point into blindside because it gives you an opportunity to cast. You're only doing 16% focus damage, but you're getting that 1 stun. That's pretty big. So if you could stun a whole unit for a whole round, that's damage they're not doing. I also decided to max out fleeting movements, which gives 2 allied units 75% chance of avoiding the next instance of damage. So every single 2 rounds, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be giving me a 75% chance of avoiding damage. That's bonkers. So these boys be dodging everything, just dodging it. Mithrandir, another amazing one. First 4 rounds against all enemies, damage is reduced by 11%. It's only the first 4 rounds, that's cool. But then the max level effect, it gives you 3 allied units avoid the first instance of damage in battle, no matter what, unless they have pursuit or something, which pursuit is an amazing thing if you can guarantee it for your people. But he has that avoid the first instance damage. It's fantastic. I love it, and I always have. And this is where I'm doing a little bit of offensive mixed in there, because with Convener, I have the first 2 rounds, all allied units have a 75% chance to attack twice each round. So me being in Lothlorien, I have March Wardens. If they get a chance to attack twice in the first 2 rounds, that's going to be some heavy casualties for the enemy, which means less damage on my units. So if I can get that burst damage out there for the first 2 rounds, that's great. After that, after the first 2 rounds, this basically goes away, and big sad, but it's still a great thing. You can move these 7 points around to elsewhere if that's what you'd like to do. Some people like to go even more defensive with White Council, but personally I can't justify 7 points going into the first 3 instances of damage received, which is reduced by X amount of percent, 1.2 every single time, depending on your focus. And then this is where I'm going to put my last 2 points once he gets to 50. But I'm going to put it into 3 peoples. Pretty much every good faction is going to receive less damage. So 14% less damage received. And then put at least 1 point into Wizard if you have Respect 3 unlocked, because this is going to give you 2 enemy targets on round 1. They're going to be stunned for 3 rounds. No, I'm sorry. It's 1 round that they're stunned. Don't let that fool you. So it's 1 round that they're stunned, and then they're going to get defense down. So they're going to lose 20 defense for 3 rounds. That's huge. It's amazing. It's fantastic. And then I mixed in this nice little surge just in case, so that way, you know, potentially get some more attacks off. So that's really what makes Gandalf so great. He has the survivability compared to almost all the other heroes that are out there. Keeps him in the fights longer. Almost every single fight that I have with him, as I show you, they end in draws. Look, this was a whole draw. 5 minutes later, gets right back in there. This one, he won the first 2 fights because they were weaker. They didn't have much going on. They went through battles already, and then he fought against a full, you know, army from Aragorn, and it was a draw. But look at the damage and the statistics on this. I may have received some more damage, but I healed 52,000, so that breaks around what, 116,000, while he still took 135. So he's taking more damage while I'm healing and still sustaining more. And this is after 2 fights already. Here's another one where he went up against a Gandalf the White. Granted, he wasn't fully decked and all the way ready to fight, but still, look at those losses. That's hardly any damage taken off right there. He's looking solid all the way through and through. Just to show a little bit more, let's see what else we got. This was a really great one right here. He sat here in this fort for, as you can see, 5 fights, but 4. So 20 minutes he sat inside this fort, draw after draw after draw. First off, he goes up against an Eowyn, fights the whole Eowyn. She puts in work, he puts in work, and then he goes on and fights Aragorn the Second, King of Men. This one isn't as decked out as the other one that we've been facing. That one's an absolute unit, but this one's still scary nonetheless. Still manages to go into a draw, still stays there, comes right back in and fights him again on the same exact Aragorn, and still hanging in there, you know, still fighting his way, still hanging in. Somebody came in and fought off and finished off that one, and then he got a victory against Eowyn, and then a draw again against Theoden. So Gandalf losing straight up doesn't happen very often, which is amazing and great for you because you're going to sustain units and you're going to keep them alive longer, and that means keeping them in fights. Every time you get a draw, you have an opportunity to back out, reinforce the unit, and then send them right back in there. So it's not like, you know, a one and done, and then all of a sudden, you know, what else are you going to do from there? So Gandalf the Grey is an absolute unit. Deck him out the best you can, level him up. I got him mock battling right now, right here, right now, and try to get him to 50 as fast as you can. He's a great, amazing commander. All right, tacticians, I'll see you in the next video.